Hello friends and welcome into College Football Now. I am Tom Nenny with a way too early College Football Top 25 with the latest season now over. Before we break down the Top 25, congratulations to the LSU Tigers. They complete a perfect 15-0 season behind the arm of quarterback Joe Burrow, capped off a 60-touchdown year. Yes, let that sink in. A 60-touchdown season for Joe Burrow. He finished with 31 of 49 passing, 463 yards, and 5 touchdowns. It was truly an incredible season by Joe Burrow. He capped it off with a glorious game against Clemson. So congratulations to LSU and to Joe Burrow. But we're looking ahead to next season already. Let's dive in then to the way too early top 25. At number 25, the Louisville Cardinals. Bit of a change from the Bobby Petrino era. Scott Satterfield quickly built them back up. They could be a sleeper top 25 team. They kick things off here. At number 24, the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're going to lose some key defensive pieces and their quarterback. But Iowa always seems to find a way to win 8 or 9 games, end up ranking in the late teens, early 20s. Number 23, the Boise State Broncos. They have earned the respect of consistently being ranked in the top 25. Is it all that high? No, it's not, but they should once again be one of the better Group of 5 programs in 2020. Number 22, the North Carolina Tar Heels. They've got themselves a quarterback. Sam Howell is actually pretty darn good, and somebody has to win games in the ACC, right? Maybe Mac Brown can get North Carolina back, or at least as back as they've ever been before. Number 21, another Group of 5 team, the Cincinnati Bearcats. Yes, they lose their star back, Michael Warren. This team looks like it's in really good shape. Luke Fickell's returning as well. The Bearcats and Boise State, plus another team we'll get into, some of the top Group of 5 teams entering 2020. Before we dive into the top 20, I want to hear from you. Who is your 2020 college football sleeper team? Let me know in the comments section. It could even be a team that we did not mention. I'll throw out one of the already mentioned top 25 teams. I think North Carolina could actually be pretty good next year. And there has to be another ACC team that can win 9, 10 games. Why not North Carolina? They have the most important part. I like their young quarterback, and at least so far, Mac Brown's been recruiting pretty well. So they're definitely a sleeper, but I like the Tar Heels for that role. Some other teams to watch out for, the Virginia Tech Hokies. There have been some transfer issues in the past, but they seem to have mostly righted the ship. I almost put the Tennessee Volunteers in over Louisville. They really got things going after a horrible start last year. They could count as a sleeper team. The other Virginia program, the Virginia Cavaliers, they're coming off a nice year, but did lose their quarterback. Arizona State, they bring back their QB. They could be a sleeper out in the Pac-12. And the flip side of that, Utah, they were really good this past year up until the end, but they lose so much of talent on offense and defense, I could not put them in the top 25. And we're not just doing top 25 rankings either, folks. We've also got Heisman Trophy rankings coming out very soon, early Tuesday morning. So if you want that video, make sure you're subscribed and turn on those notifications. So head down, hit that big red button. If you're watching YouTube, you might get an ad break here. While that's playing, go subscribe, make sure you've got notifications turned back on, and we'll dive back into the rest of the top 20. At number 20, the Memphis Tigers. Mike Norvell is gone. This team, though, is still very, very talented. I think they should once again be one of the best Group of 5 teams in college football. Speaking of losses at head coach, Baylor, they check in at number 19. Look, Matt Rule left this program in a way better place, but it's a big loss there. They lose James Lynch on defense as well. Baylor checks in at number 19. At number 18, the Wisconsin Badgers. Bye-bye, Jonathan Taylor. Let's see how the program reloads, but in the Big Ten, they should find a way to win. Maybe not quite 10 games, but at least pretty darn close to it. Number 17, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They are just outside our top 15. They got some great news earlier on Monday. Hubbard coming back for one more year. I was surprised by it after the workload he put up at Oklahoma State. 2,000 yards, was the best rusher in college football based on yards. 21 touchdowns. Oklahoma State brings back Spencer Sanders, their quarterback, Hubbard, their RB, and then Tylan Wallace as well. That offense could be really good for Oklahoma State. All right, number 16, the USC Trojans. They do lose some key players like Michael Pittman, but they bring back their quarterback, Keaton Slovis, who played very well for them. I would say outright a surprising performance by Slovis this past year for USC once JT Daniels went down. Now, make no mistake, Clay Helton will once again enter the year on the hot seat, kind of at that classic USC situation where the coach is on a perpetual hot seat. But USC ended the year much better than they started it. This could be a team that has high expectations. We'll see if they live up to them or not. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code CFB120 for 120% deposit bonus. Now, the college football season, it might be over, but college basketball, bet on that. The NBA, the Super Bowl, the NFL playoffs as well, and of course, all the college football games next year. I certainly can't wait to spend more money and make some money on BetDSI. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code CFB120. Into the top 15 now. Texas A&M, the Aggies, they have Kellen Mond. I am curious to see how he fares in another year under Jimbo Fisher. If he can take a step forward and A&M plays an easier schedule, maybe they can even push for top 10 or higher. Number 14, Texas, because they are always back. Texas is Schrodinger's football program. Both back and not back at the exact same time. They do bring back Sam Ehlinger, lose several key pieces at receiver. Colin Johnson, Dever Duvernay, they are gone. Brandon Jones is gone, but the defense retains, for the most part, some very important contributors there. Texas ended the year the way they ended last year, a big-time bowl win. Let's see, though, if they can actually take advantage of it and push for a Big 12 title in what could be a down year for Oklahoma. Number 13, the Michigan Wolverines. They do lose quite a bit. Shea Patterson, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and several notable players on the defensive side of the ball. I'd say led by Lavert Hill, the cornerback, Josh Uche as well. They do get back Nico Collins. They haven't maybe recruited at the Ohio State level, but it's not like Michigan's been bringing in outside top 20 or top 25 classes. We'll see about the Wolverines. Both Michigan and Texas are certainly among the biggest names in college football, and quite frankly, have been a little bit disappointing in the past, we'll just say decade. So who's the better team in 2020? Type T for Texas, M for Michigan. Let me know in the comments section. Texas will definitely play the easier schedule. It is the Big 12 after all. But head-to-head, I would wonder if I'd actually pick Michigan. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. T for Texas or M for the Michigan Wolverines. Moving on now to number 12. That is the Auburn Tigers. They do have Bo Nix coming back. Also, it's every other year that Auburn kind of struggles, right? So is Auburn going to be the disappointment after being a nice surprise this year? I guess we'll find out come 2020. A big surprise this year, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They check in at number 11 here. I want to give them respect. They just came in outside the top 10. They get back quarterback Tanner Morgan. That's a big deal. They do still have some depth at the running back position. And most importantly, PJ Fleck is back as well for Minnesota. I saw some top 25s out there. Didn't put Minnesota in. I don't really know what they're doing. That makes absolutely no sense to me. We've also got a deal for you guys from our friends over at Fanatics. Head over to chatsports.com/NCAA gear. That's chatsports.com/NCAA gear. If you're a fan of a college football team, which I assume all of you are, otherwise why are you watching? There's gear on sale for you. Texas, Michigan, Clemson, all of the programs are available. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, jerseys, shoes, all kinds of stuff. It is at chatsports.com/NCAA gear. Check the comments, check the description of this video. I put that link in there for you as well. So all you have to do is click and start shopping. Number 10, the Oregon Ducks. Yes, they lose Justin Herbert. Yes, they lose all kinds of offensive linemen. Yes, they lose Troy Dye, their linebacker. Did have several more players announced they're coming back today. And then, of course, maybe the most important guy on there, I should say two most important guys, Penei Sewell, one of the best, if not the best, offensive lineman in college football. And then Kayvon Thibodeau, the former number 1 overall recruit in his second year. Oregon has recruited really, really well. They do lose their OC. I didn't love their game plan, so maybe that's actually a positive for them. And in the Pac-12, Oregon should still be considered the favorite to win that conference. Speaking of losses, that's Notre Dame. They lose a bunch on defense. Not just Alohi Gilman and Julian Okwara. Khalid Kareem is gone. Some other defensive backfield members. Chase Claypool, Komet as well. They're two most dynamic receiver options. Tony Jones as well. They lose a lot. But the good news for Notre Dame, they recruit well. They're Notre Dame. I think Brian Kelly's done a better job of developing guys than maybe some previous regimes did with the Fighting Irish. And they bring back their quarterback, Ian Book. That's a big deal in college football. I don't know if they're going to win 11 games, but the expectation should be high around Notre Dame, even with all the losses. That also means when we look back at the end of the year, Notre Dame might have been a team that we overrate. So put on your I guess that's a terrible way to phrase it, but open up instead your crystal balls and take a look at what team you think will be the most overrated next year. Notre Dame, always a popular answer. Texas, Michigan, also popular answers. But let me know in the comments section which team you think will be the most overrated and overhyped next year. Number 8, the Oklahoma Sooners. Look, they lose Jalen Hurts, they lose CeeDee Lamb, they lose Kenneth Murray, Neville Gallimore. All those guys are probably going to be top 90 picks in the NFL draft. But if one team in recent years has earned the benefit of the doubt for their head coach maximizing their quarterback, isn't that Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma? Spencer Rattler comes in. He barely played last year. He did not really get in on the field. A couple of snaps here and there. Wasn't really a factor. The good news is for Oklahoma, having a new quarterback hasn't impacted them. The difference is, this one's not a transfer. Number 7, the Penn State Nittany Lions. They bring back two of the best non-quarterback receiver guys in college football. That's Micah Parsons, the linebacker, and Pat Freiermuth, the tight end, both of whom I bet will be first-round picks in 2021. And oh, by the way, they also bring back Sean Clifford, their starting quarterback. Now, there are some losses, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But James Franklin has done a really good job with the Nittany Lions, and Clifford in his first year as a starter showed promise. There were certainly some ups and downs, especially some downs later on in the year, but the ground game was sharp. They bring back most of their key players on that side as well. Clifford should take it the next step forward for Penn State. If he does, they're going to be right where they were this past year, competing for a Big Ten title. Moving on now to number 6, the Georgia Bulldogs. Defensively, they bring back almost everybody. So that really good defense last year should be really good again this upcoming season. The problem is for Georgia, and this is why they're not in the top 5. That offense loses a lot. Yes, they keep George Pickens. Yes, they brought in Wake transfer Jamie Newman as their new quarterback, but Jake Fromm is gone. DeAndre Swift is gone. Both tackles, Isaiah Wilson and Andrew Thomas, and the guy they were probably going to start a tackle, Cade Mays, he transferred. They're all out. So Georgia has had a really good team the past couple years. That offense, though, will look very different than what we've seen the past few seasons. Georgia, of course, they recently played in the college football playoff. So I want you guys to predict the 4 college football playoff teams in 2020. Let me know in the comments section, is it going to be LSU getting back in it, Clemson getting back there, Bama, Ohio State, the other blue bloods in college football? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Number 5, the Florida Gators. They lose some key pieces on defense, namely C.J. Henderson and 2 early-round passers, Jabari Zuniga and Jonathan Grenard. Van Jefferson also gone at receiver. But the quarterback comes back, Kyle Trask, and kind of sort of Emory Jones. I'm sure we'll see some of him next year as well. Kyle Pitts played really well at tight end. Marco Wilson's coming back as well. Florida played really well this year. And the expectations for the Gators, I think fair or not, are going to be SEC East title and, frankly, probably trying to find a way into the college football playoff as well. I like what Dan Mullen is doing. This upcoming season, though, this is supposed to be the leap for the Florida Gators. At number 4, the current national champions, the LSU Tigers, fresh off an impressive win over Clemson. The downside, though, for LSU, with no regrets, of course, I might add, they lose quite a few key players. Joe Burrow is going to go be the number 1 overall pick. Christian Fulton, Grant Delpit haven't yet declared, but come on, they're gone. They're not coming back. On the bright side for LSU, A, you've just won a national title. B, you get Jamar Chase and you get Derek Stingley back. It could be a lot worse for the LSU Tigers. And if you're a Tigers fan fired up about the national championship, go get yourself some gear. It's at chatsports.com/champions. Chatsports.com/champions. Check the description. check the comments. We've got that link in there for you so you can shop all the gear on there right now. Bonus, by the way, is use promo code 24SHIP. Get yourself some free shipping there. One more time, chatsports.com/champions. SEC theme continues here at number 3. Yes, you lose Tua and Trevon Diggs and Jerry Jeudy and Jedrick Rose and all kinds of other elite players. But Mac Jones looked pretty good this past year. Defense returns a bunch, and they're still Alabama. Even in a down year, they went 11-2. Yeah, they deserve to be in the top 5. Number 2, the Ohio State Buckeyes, this close to playing LSU in the national championship. Yeah, you're going to lose Chase Young and Jeffrey Okudah and J.K. Dobbins and Malik Harrison, all probably top 50 picks, at least top 60, top 70. But you bring back your most important player, quarterback Justin Fields, and you get back key contributors like Shaun Wade to help revamp a very different secondary in 2020. At number 1, it is the Clemson Tigers. Yes, things did not go according to plan in the national championship game. Yes, it was frankly a disappointment. And yes, Etienne and Higgins and Simmons are not yet declared, but come on, they're all going to go pro. Clemson gets the nod over Ohio State for a couple of reasons. Number 1, Ohio State does lose quite a bit in the back end of that secondary, and both teams have elite quarterbacks coming back. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. Cannot wait to watch those two teams, or those two quarterbacks, compete to be the 2021 NFL Draft number 1 overall pick. But Clemson defeated Ohio State just a couple of weeks ago. So although they are both the clear-cut front-runners to make it to the CFP title game, Clemson beat them head-to-head. Doesn't that matter regardless of what happened in the national championship game? Head-to-head should matter. So who should be the preseason number 1? You can make arguments for defending champ gets to be number 1. That's LSU. Bama's always Alabama. Ohio State, Clemson. But feel free to chime in the comments section.